It just feels long ago because there are so many games in between, but it's not long ago. And I think we miss a little step from 90% to maybe 100%. It's not that we have to question ourselves deeply and start to doubt each other. It's about stepping up, of course. It's about improving. The games were very, very difficult, very different from each other, into the extremes. Man City is about high pressing and ball possession. Juventus is about deep defending and no ball possession. So we played against the extremes, and what we can predict is we play against another extreme team in high pressing now with Southampton. And the one thing that is the most important, to keep a clear head and be well prepared, and this is what we do.
Ralph Hasenhüttl was speaking very warmly about you yesterday. He said you're good friends and you've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
What do you make of him as a character, and what do you make of the job that he's done at Southampton?
Well, we meet each other now regularly because we played against each other in Bundesliga and now here, and we meet, of course, in coaches' meetings. That's pretty much it. But it's also a lot over the years, and he's a very friendly and very and we met once in Paris for some days. So. Very nice guy, very humble, very very entertaining, also very funny guy. And well, the teams he trained have also always the same philosophy. It's high intensity, it's very aggressive, it's about ball recoveries, and this is it, and this on a very high level. So they have a very fast team, a very aggressive team. They have good results against both Manchester teams, and so this is what we are expecting. Good coach, good team, and a nice guy, but that does not count for 90 minutes.
Can I just ask you some injury news as well? Because Mason Mount and Reece James were both included in the England squad yesterday. Was that done with your blessing? Does that mean that they are fit to play this weekend?
You would assume so, no? But
yeah.
I was when I saw it, I thought that maybe Reece goes with the water polo team for England, because right now he trains in the pool. So I was a bit surprised, but I understood that he was selected for the football team. So this will not happen, because Reece is training in the pool right now. So my understanding, my last information is that he will not go. So can only be a misunderstanding, nothing else. And for Mason, of course, Mason is in the squad. Mason is back. It was not a long injury, it was a minor injury, and we're happy that he's back. And then it's obviously a given that he's nominated, and he's happy to be nominated, and will give everything to do his best for his England squad.
Do you think it was the right decision for Ben Chilwell not to be in the squad at this stage of the season?
For him personally?
Yeah.
No, it would be nice to be selected. He's happy to play for England. He's proud to play for England. He has the quality to play for England. He had a bit of a rough start. It was a bit unlucky, and he has his own story. Like every player has his individual story. And this is it. But I can understand that he has to, and for sure Chile understands that he has to earn it, and he needs to earn it with minutes. And he did not have too many minutes, so we can understand why he's not selected. It's not a big drama. I think he can accept, and there's no need to worry about it. Once he plays more minutes for us and plays with quality, he will have the chance to be selected again. But it's one step after another.
Last one.
Yeah, just a final one from me, Thomas. Just on Tony Livramento, he's been playing so well for Southampton. Was it a tough decision to let him go this summer? And you've reportedly still got a buyback clause, so that shows how highly rated he was by the club.
Yes, of course he was highly rated. We did everything to keep him here, to show him his future and his possibilities to compete also for a position in our team. He decided to go. That's his decision. You sometimes have to accept. There are not too hard feelings, because we can show him possibilities, and then it's on the player. He was, of course, competing with Reece James, with Aspi on the right wing back position. I think it was an ideal position for him to fight, and the group is not too big, so there was a big chance also to make it all the way. If Tino decided to go, it's fair enough. He does very well. We wish him all the best, and this is what it is. Of course, we saw the potential. He decided to go another way and fight for his place in Southampton, and that's how the business is.
James Avenger, TalkSport.
Thomas, do you feel like standards have slipped in the last two games, or has it just been the case that you've come up against two really good opponents?
Two very different opponents, like I said, two very extreme style of play and very different style of play, from Man City high pressing ball possession to no ball, almost no ball possession, and deep defending from Juventus. But of course, both clubs have personality, both clubs have experience, both clubs have the players to hurt you. This can happen in any match of football, we know this. If it happens, it does absolutely not feel good. And did we play at our very best level? No. So we had the feeling that Manchester City made us underperform on this very day, on the very special day at Stamford Bridge. We felt us very well prepared and in total different circumstances to play against Juventus. Could we reach our very best level? No, it's hard if you're responsible for the rhythm, if you're responsible for the energy, if you're responsible for the intensity. It's a concentration game in the end, you know. It reminds me 100% to our game in Bucharest when we played against Atletico, and we finally ended up to play almost a similar game and win it 1-0 by a goal that was ruled out by offside and then given by VAR, and it was a bicycle kick. So we did not have much chances, maybe no chance at all, and we did not give chances away. But don't forget, it was in Bucharest, it was without spectators, so it was maybe also a bit easier to be calm, to be focused, to be concentrated, and now it gets a bit tougher to play away games against big teams like this with this kind of personality. We will not be the last team to lose against Juventus, and it was like the difficulty and the danger in these matches is that the result in the end tells you the story about the match. If you lose 1-0, you're not sharp enough, you lack intensity, and everything falls into place when you know the result. If you win this 1-0, or maybe Romelu scores and you go away with a draw, you go like, we stayed calm, we stayed passionate, we waited until this one chance came, and you speak about this game very, very differently. It is very hard to constantly be responsible for the intensity, for the attacks, and against a team that defends so deep. It was almost the same first half than we played with Manchester City, and it was very, very hard for Manchester City to create chances, and expected goals against us was almost impossible. And the door for Manchester City opened with a deflected shot. So, yeah, of course, we need to defend this goal much better. It was an absolutely poor goal in the present we gave away, and this is the lesson. From there on, I feel that we need to step up again, like you said, from 90% to 100, which is not the easy thing, but is of course on us to improve and to raise the level again.
Romelu has seemed a little bit isolated in the last 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Is there still an adjustment taking place from his part, but also from the team's part as well, in terms of trying to work to his best strengths?
Yes and no, because he was fully involved in the very first game against Arsenal, and then he was also, if you look at the second half against Tottenham, he was involved in chances, in assisting for Timo Werner, in first half in connection with Mason Mount. I think that also football right now is about connections. And Romelu, I feel a strong connection with Mason Mount. I feel a strong connection with Mateo Kovacic. They look for each other and they have a genuine understanding. And everybody else lacks it a little bit. And we need to learn. We need to adapt. We need to create and understand each other better, of course. But yeah, like I said, we had games where he was fully involved. Now we had games like against Manchester City. Of course, he was isolated. Manchester City made him be isolated, and our build-up play and our transition made him be isolated. Of course, there will always be matches like this in Juve where there is no place to go. There is no place to be involved. Sometimes these games exist. So this is maybe not the reference game for link-up play. You know, we would talk maybe totally different if he would have scored in the 80-something minute. It's normally a chance that he normally scores for us, and then he would be again the decisive player. So yeah, it's right and it's right and nothing major to worry about, but we are aware of it.
John Southall, 5 Live.
Hi Thomas, just one on Reece James. Are you slightly surprised that nobody from the England squad was in touch with you before?
No, it's normal. It's normal. Imagine if every national coach calls the coach, and I'm very bad in answering calls anyway, so nobody could reach me, and then they go mad at me and be angry. So it's better, but of course the club is in touch, and Petr Cech sorted these things out. This can happen.
How significant a factor has it been that Mason Mount has missed the last 2 games and you've lost both games? Is it a big contributing factor that?
Yeah, but we need to be careful. We took him out at halftime because he had a bit of a rough halftime at Tottenham, and everybody was so highly speaking about us in the second half, and he was not on the pitch, and suddenly he's missing, and now it's not on single players. Of course we want to have Mason, and of course we know what an energy he gives, and of course we miss him, but we cannot start reducing our performances on looking at the players who are missing. Do we miss Ng? Yeah, of course, every team in the world misses N'Golo Kante. Do we miss Mason if he is on his best level? Of course, that's why he plays for us. That's why he's a tough player. Do we miss Reece James? Yes, of course. And still, there would be a selection to take, and we could only start with 11 players against Juve, and maybe we would have started without Mason, but then we have him from the bench. Do we miss Christian Pulisic? Of course we miss sprints and intensity. But it needs to be on the best level then, and it needs to be a good fit. So we have a squad, and we have the duty as a coach to find solution, and it's possible to win games without Mason Mount, and hopefully he knows that with how much respect and how much I love him and I want him to be in the team. But if he is injured, we need to win games without him, and it's exactly the same with N'Golo and Christian Pulisic and Reece James.
I'm sure he does. You said the players look mentally and physically tired in midweek. Is that slightly concerning at this stage of the season?
Yeah, but also logical. Maybe everybody feels like this if you play so much and play for national teams and have all the traveling. It feels a little bit like this. It does not mean that I'm absolutely right, but it feels a little bit that we carry a bit of weight on our shoulders mentally, or like from our own expectations, or you name it, can be. So yeah, somebody told me several years ago, if players look like this, you can threaten them or you can calm them down, and in 99% of the cases it's better to calm them down, and I will never forget this sentence. So I was a youth coach, so the tendency is in the moment here also keep everybody calm and trust in what we do and what we are, and support the group, and let the players also support each other and find their way out. We're looking, I think, for the last 10%, you name it, being sharp, being mentally maybe a bit more fresh, or enjoy a little bit what we do. But it's hard to enjoy games against Juventus. This is what they do to you, and this is like, and we're not the first team to experience it, and maybe not the first English team to experience it in Italy and in against Juventus. This is what they do, and sometimes you suffer mentally in these games because things don't go so fast like we want to have them happen. So it's what I want to say is we should focus on the solutions, not too much on the problems, because the problems are not too big. The results are not what we expect, and still it's we still have trust in ourselves, and we have all reason.
Last question in the broadcast section, Adam Cottier.
Hi Thomas,
Hi.
You mentioned Southampton's high press and the way they play. Obviously they haven't won yet this season. How do you counteract that? What sort of things will you be looking for from your players when you're up against Southampton?
I will not tell you. We have developed some ideas and some solutions, of course, to deal with this high pressure. So in general, you need to be absolutely aware of it. You don't have time to think when you're on the ball. We need to anticipate situations. We need to be very, very good in timing and distances of our passing if we want to escape high pressure in our own half. Of course, you have there are various possibilities. Can also be a possibility to use long balls and to escape high pressing. So, but then you need to have a good positioning before. Cannot talk about it now in details, but the most important is that we are aware and we don't judge teams by their names or by their ranking or by their previous results, but we talk about what we see and their behavior, and we need to be aware, like I said, of an aggressive and intense team in our half.
And just finally, on your team, you've had 10 different goal scorers. You've scored 12 goals in the Premier League. What does that say about your team? You're not relying on just one or two players, are you, to score your goals?
In the moment, which is maybe a good thing. In the end, we want also to rely on guys who constantly score. So you want to always have everything. So hopefully we find Romelu and our other strikers more often that they bring them into chances. And this is what we are up to create chances, to attack, no matter where on the pitch, no matter if we have the ball or our opponent have the ball. So we raised our intensity against the ball in the opponent's half against Juventus, which was a very good thing. We have a lot of high ball recoveries from a very good counter pressing. Unfortunately, we could not take advantage of. Unfortunately, we missed opportunities to create chances out of high ball wins, because there were a lot. This was part of the game where we wanted to improve, and we want to also to have the answer to the pressing from Southampton with counter pressing and to give them a taste of their medicine also, because it's also part of our game.